in this biosphere on Earth, so it's hard to even imagine what anything else could be like, just the same as it's hard to imagine what other dimensions could be like. But I think, I'm pretty confident that there are a lot of dimensions that we have no ability to perceive with our brain that is limited to these few dimensions here. And I think that there are most likely other things that are perceiving those dimensions that we're not, that might be perceiving us as well, or not us, and living on a whole completely opposite plane, but whatever, there's other dimensions.
Well, we're just on this, tiny little rock just hurtling around. This big sun that's just shooting plasma rays at us, like just bullets, massive plasma bullets just firing at us. And if one hits, everything we know about technology goes kaput. No GPS, no mobile, no satellite, no weapons, no nothing. Everything that requires an electronic current or signal will be fried. Now, we'll be all right. We'll be all right because, we're made to build it. That's actually something I wrote in the podcast the other day. It's the first time I've really thought of that. The whole, if you do believe in evolution, we come from the Big Bang, then it's sort of like now we just look at each other as humans. Okay, we're just humans sitting here watching TV, speaking on this podcast thing. But really, and we're all separate, we're all different. But if you think about it from the context of the Big Bang, then actually what we're just different forms of stardust and matter. Because originally we all came from something that was
not even that. You can go further than that. I mean, we are different forms of energy.
Yes.
And we are just energy expressing itself in different forms, and each form expresses itself in a perceivably different way because it's vibrating at a different frequency.
Yep.
I think that's basically that's the difference between an emotion and a particle of a leaf over there.
Adam and Eve, they didn't have sex, did they? Did they?
I don't know. I'm sure they would.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I think because then there were these 12 mystery bitches and guys that came from nowhere. And that was a big thing about it. So, where did they come from? As soon as they left the garden, because they had to reprocreate. Because Adam and Eve had sex, and then what? And then now everyone's in the whole human race is incest.
I think that's what it is supposed to be.
Everyone? No, I don't think. I think that there was some magical mystery bitches.
Well, let's Google that because I think that's a pretty important thing that we probably should know.
No. Adam and Eve. Well, we look over that point. Adam and Eve. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
But that's where the first man and woman.
How could Adam and Eve have sex? Because then would all be from the same person, if that's correct.
Yeah, well.
If it would all be incest. No wonder there's problems going on around the world.
Well, that's why the story doesn't really stack up,
doesn't it? No, I don't know. Some of the Bible's pretty valid. Yeah.
Well, I'm reading a really great book now. I've only just started it, but I'm very excited. It's called The Electric Jesus.
Oh yeah.
And it's by this guy who's sort of on a, he's had amazing spiritual experiences and stuff, but he's sort of a political activist in America. But he's actually at the moment the chapter's going through. He ends up going on a quest to discover and explore the Christianity in its early days and the stuff that was removed from it, and going back to actually what it really means and tying it into the spiritual experiences that he's had. And it's quite amazing because just a simple thing like the fact of Jesus' halo on his head. This guy had a spiritual experience where he could start to see auras.
Yeah.
And he was holding energy balls in his hand and stuff, just like Murali did.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And he's like, well, obviously that was amazing for him. And then he sees a poster of Jesus with a halo. And he's like, they know exactly what I'm talking about. These people who. All these, that's the thing with all these religions, the institutions that have been propped up surrounding these original ideas of religion are all pretty man-made and fucked up, but the original ideas, they come from truly spiritual experiences and enlightened people who have some real knowledge to share.
I'm interested in that, and that's true. Fuck, pardon me. That's the sort of way I look at a religion. It's sort of like, well, let's say anyone can use themselves as an example. You know, so what? Okay, let's say you do some amazing shit in your life, you know, and then your kids, you know, they tell a story. Let's say you save a couple of thousand lives doing something amazing, like you become a politician, you do this, and then they're like,
you become a politician, you save lives?
No, you say, yeah, I know,
Amazing.
crazy talk. And then, but then you're in a position of power, you do some amazing things fall in the right place, you save lives, you know, and this person's like, this guy's a modern day prophet, he's the one, we need following. Then your kids tell a story, it's, you know, related back and forth, and then hold on, you know, because for instance with the Bible, Jesus, it wasn't written until 200 years after he's dead. Now, even with all the fucking technology and everything that we had today, I reckon in 200 years that story would be a little bit misconstrued. Even with the fucking internet and all the recording shit that we got today, there'll be fundamental fucking bits going all the way off that religion. Just people going, no, actually, I think it was meant to be sound this way, and I think it was meant to be like this, and I think it was meant to be like that. But these guys, they hardly were even writing it down. It was just fucking word of mouth.
But that's the problem. You know, I think that comes to the core to it, because what happens when you record it in words and language, you immediately remove the true meaning from it, and you create labels for something that is indescribable, especially with spiritual sort of things.
Yeah.
So when you've got a language, you've got all these words that are trying to describe this thing, which really at the end of the day was probably a personal experience. Everyone needs to experience it in their own way and come to understand it in their own way. And you've got these people just labeling it and trying to interpret it. No wonder it's created such a separation of different people. I mean, look at what Jesus really was involved in Reiki. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He fucking healed people with his hands.
Yeah. That's right.
He did Reiki, and nowadays Reiki is seen as a crazy thing. And,
I know, yeah.
And I mean, obviously,
he did Reiki. He actually did. That's the first time I thought
Reiki, and I think a lot of the things that,
if anyone doesn't know what Reiki is, it's a build up of heat and energy. If someone, let's say, has a sore muscle or a sore leg or something, it's a build up of heat and energy, and you focus your consciousness and your mind into a point in your hand, which is where you can release energy, and then that releases heat and consciousness.
Ideally, I think it's just trying to manipulate and direct the flow of people's energy within their bodies to create a more balanced and harmonious state. But when they have injuries or spiritual injuries or whatever.
Spiritual injuries or anything like that. But also, it does help muscle. I've had it done to me before. My sister studied it. But he was, certainly. But he might have been. I'm sure he existed, and I'm sure he was a extremely incredible and well-rounded human being for the time. For the fact of anything else, no one knows. You can't say. No one can say. That's the thing. What does that quote Richard Dawkins say? It's and quote Richard Dawkins says is, I dislike religion because it allows people to be satisfied with unsatisfactory views about the world. Because I think that's the way it goes. But it allows people to rest easy and go, at least I know enough. When really you don't. You're not viewing all the information. You're sitting back going, this book is telling me what's going on, when we live in this age of information. Everything is just like you're at the bottom of the funnel, just getting beer bombed with all this information going, and then everyone's going, nah, I don't want to believe that, and I don't want to believe that, nah, I'm right. And when you got to get rid of the ego. You got to go, okay, I don't know everything, I'm never going to know everything, but if there's some new information that logically makes sense to me, I need to be able to consider it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's trying to make sense of your environment, trying to find your place within it by
pretty basic
taking your
shit.
Environment, taking what's logical and following that path and taking that as a little, lifesaver rope. But I think the best way to, rid yourself of that problem of just being bombarded with energy and not being able to find your place within it spiritually, get rid of everything, and you need to go back to basics. You need to prune all that crap away, get rid of it, and just go and be as a simple, I don't mean in like physical life, but just experience from your point of view and try and understand and think about everything from the bottom up, from nothing, and then create it all yourself. Just given the life that you're living, you don't need to live anybody else's life or have any other points of view. You can find that path on your own with just your own life path.
We've got a question.
You just have to. It's not question. Like, it's just. I don't think it's question. I think it's just think about how you feel about your environment, what makes you happy, connect with what's going on, and I think that you find the answers when you connect with that. I think. I don't know if I can explain myself very well.
I like what you're saying there, but I think that's a secondary thing. I think the first thing is you got to question about the reality, question the beliefs you have learned.
No, definitely. But that's what I meant
the reality
by stripping,
in which you live.
That's what I meant by being able to strip away all the nonsense that people have told you from the external, direction. So to strip away anything that someone might have, a religion that someone's imposed on you, or some information about, or even fucking the God delusion, Richard Dawkins' book. Sure, strip away everything.
You don't need to strip it. You just need to question it.
No, you do. No, just strip it away. It's irrelevant because it's irrelevant.
If you question it,
it's irrelevant to your personal connection with life and existence, and that's where you're going to find your answers.
A lot of people would disagree with you there. A lot of people would disagree with you because
they
haven't previously questioned it. If they don't question it...
You can't strip it away without questioning it. Fine. You need to question it first and then strip it away.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright.
Okay. That's probably... It has to happen in that order of events.
Yes.
I don't know why you would fight it.
But if you question... But then again, you can question it, and if you come up going, well, this is still the best thing for me, then Godspeed.
But what I'm saying is that with that type of analytical, those thoughts and that's process, you're using your brain to try and find a spiritual place within your existence, which I think is only being able to be found when you simply feel your way through life, connect with every moment in your life, and do it from your own place, that comes from the inside out, rather than being guided by external ideas and analyses and questioning and critical thinking. That's all great on a physical level and for brain development, personal development, but when it comes to making sense of your environment in a very spiritual, profound way, I think that it's got to be really heartfelt and from the out in personal stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out this sex thing. This person...
Adam and Eve did not fuck, I don't think. I'm fairly sure that
Adam and Eve lost the grace of the indwelling Holy Spirit. Nothing else changed. In their nature they remained as they were created, mortal and incorruptible. Sexuality is therefore part of how God created us and is good. How we use our sexuality is the same as how we use every other part of our nature. We are liable to corruption and sin and must strive to use our sexuality in accordance with God's will. I don't know. Do you like sex?
No, it's alright.
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan.
It's alright. It's good.
It's not that great. It constantly, I think it's good, fine, sex is good, feels good, whatever. It can be fun. But I just feel like there is something more that it can bring me that it hasn't yet before.
No, I'm exactly the same. I don't understand why some people are so fascinated with it. When you first meet someone you're with them, then sure, it's great for
novelty part
extended periods for over and over for the first 3 or 4 months. But then I think a lot of males would fall into my category and they'll be like, yeah, man, it's good you said that, because fucking you get sick of the shit, man. You don't have that. Males, from my experience and from what a lot of males have told me, they don't have that deeper connection that they get from, I'm not saying all, but they don't get that deeper connection from what some girls get. Some girls can just keep going with the same guy over and over, and guys are more, I'm not saying guys that don't have it now can't get it, but they don't have that internal souls connecting fucking romantic
and that's exactly what I think that I have been missing in mine, and I think that I'm sure so many people are missing. I really think that there is some crazy shit that can happen when you have sex on a spiritual level.
Tantra, there's a lot of fucking shit going on with that.
I think there's a whole world that you can tap into there if you know how to, put yourself in a spot where your soul can do that. I think that is where I want to be with it. And until that happens, whatever, it's just fucking a task. Yeah, I'll have sex. Yeah, sure. But
shit, that sounds awful.
That was it.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
No, it's good. But fuck it. I think it's great, and I think everyone wishes that. Fucking look. Let's be serious. You go through relationships, you go through dating, you go through this and that. You get to 30, and then you're probably got to find someone 30, 35. I've got to find someone I want to be with for a long time. And I think everyone at that point really goes, in the back of their mind, it might not be a foregone fucking thing. If it is a foregone thing when you're getting married to someone, going, well, at least she's good in bed, then you're probably pretty superficial. But the thing is like everyone just wants that person that they can have that physical connection with the whole time. I find that hard to believe that. I think that is one of probably the biggest hurdles to overcome in any long-term relationship.
Well, I think that you'll find